Yeah, I know. I already made a video on this like a day or two ago. But I gotta double down on this shit, okay? The TDS Battle Pass still fucking sucks. And I'm gonna die in that hell no matter what. No matter what anybody says, it fucking sucks. The Premium Battle Pass is dog shit and it's garbage. And I'm not gonna stand for it. So if you guys don't know what's happening right now in TDS, recently, a couple days ago actually, there's been a new update with the game. It's a pretty huge one, I gotta say. And the update is actually a new event, a brand new event within the game. And the event is amazing, by the way. I have no problems with the event. The event so far has been absolutely fucking great. It's challenging. It's not too long. It's not too short. It has some great enemies. It has great soundtracks. Coming up with a loadout to actually beat the event is very challenging, and the event itself has some really interesting mechanics, like with Night 2, for example, where you gotta like fix a computer and beat the final boss at the same time in order to win. And the final boss is actually really hard. I've only beaten him 2 times. I only play the event 3 times, but I mean, I've only beaten the boss of Night 2 times. And each time it's been really, really close to getting to the exit, right? So it's a pretty damn tough event. But yeah, the event is great. But what is not great is the premium battle pass that they're selling. If you guys are not aware, with the event, they've also released a premium battle pass in the game, which you can only buy for Roblox. There's no way to get it for free. And in my previous video, I said that it's really predatory and that's fucking lame, because the thing about premium battle passes, or the premium battle pass in this specific scenario, is that TDS has never made a premium battle pass before, which means that as a player, or as players, we were all expecting for all the things in battle pass to be free, and not for like half the fucking content to be locked behind a paywall, right? And you know, some people might say that, oh, it's just cosmetics, so you know, it doesn't matter. It's alright, dude. It's just cosmetics, doesn't affect the game. But honestly, like, half the fucking content in this game is just cosmetics, right? Like, there's been like over 12 events. Like, I don't know exactly how many events there have been in TDS, but I'd say about 15. And over the course of those 15 events, there have been like probably over 100 skins, if not multiple hundreds of skins scattered throughout those events, you know, which do make up for a pretty fucking huge portion of the content. So now that you have to like pay for this limited time content, is just kind of predatory, because again, it's exploiting the little kids' fear of missing out, right? Because like you know, if you don't buy the Battle Pass now, if you don't buy it right now, then you're gonna miss out on all these limited time skins and emotes and stickers, and they're never, ever gonna appear again, and you're gonna miss out, and you can sit down and cry if you want. So you better buy the Game Pass now, right? That's basically what the developers are telling you over here. Now, another really stupid argument that I've heard that's trying to defend this premium battle pass is that the developers need to be paid for their work, guys. Am I right? And to be fair, that kind of sounds like a good argument on the surface, but let me break it down for you why it's absolutely fucking idiotic. This argument of people saying that the developers need to be paid for their work assumes that they get paid for their work by the work that they make, which is just not true. Like that argument is assuming that before the Halloween update, and between the previous update and the Halloween update, developers were just getting paid nothing, and there was $0 flowing into Below Natural's bank account, right? Which is just simply not true, because in TDS, there are so many game passes, right? There are so many game passes that just let you circumvent grinding, or just give you instant money, or instant gems, or instant skins, or a bunch of different things. Like, you can basically skip the grind for anything and everything in the game, right? You can even buy towers outright in the game pass section. And not to mention the plushies as well that the developers of the game sell. And the reason, by the way, I feel like I have to mention this, but the reason that those game passes are not predatory, the reason why like the coin pass is not predatory, or the gem pass is not predatory, or the engineer pass is not predatory, or you know, the DJ pass is not, the DJ music change pass is not predatory, is because those game passes will exist in the game forever. They will never be taken off sale. And for most of those game passes, for like 99% of them, you can just not buy them and just grind out everything for free, right? Like, for example, with the engineer game pass, which costs like $35 or so, right? With that game pass, for example, you don't actually need to buy it. Like, you can just play the game and grind the gems out by yourself and just buy the tower without spending a time on the game, right? Which is impossible to do for the premium battle pass within this event, because with a premium battle pass, you gotta buy it. Like, if you want those skins, you fucking have to buy it. There's no way of getting around it. And you know, and that's really what's scummy about that, because if you want these skins and these items that will never be in the game again, ever again, you have to pay for that. You have to pay for them. And the reason it's especially disappointing in the case of TDS is because TDS never really did this before. Like, they never really forced you to pay for like a limited time item if you really want it, right? Like, they had some game passes. You know, they had like some content that you can only buy for Roblox, like for example the deluxe grade, or for example, I don't know, the DJ music game pass, which allows you to use the music of the DJ. But the thing about those is that they're gonna stay in the game forever. So like, if you want to buy them like 10 years from now, you can just do that. But if you want to buy the premium battle pass 10 years from now, then you're shit out of luck. You're like way too late to the party, right? And that's what makes it fucking predatory, in my opinion. Like this premium battle pass is just setting a new standard for tower defense simulator developers, right? It's just setting a new standard that like they can get away with any monetization in the game that they want, no matter how scummy it is, right? They're like at this point they're just testing what they can get away with, because originally their greediness wasn't that bad. They were just putting like a bunch of new skins in the deluxe grade, right, which cost Robux, which wasn't super bad. Like, those skins are gonna stay there forever, so like, who cares? And then they released one skin for $13. One skin for $13. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that was just genuinely crazy. And then after that, they came out with this battle pass here. And in their defense, the battle pass is not as bad as selling one skin for $13, because the battle pass is cheaper than the DJ macro skin, which is the skin I'm talking about, by the way. It's cheaper and it gives you multiple skins and way more rewards, right? But it's still limited content locked behind a paywall, which hasn't really been done by the TDS developers before. So, and right now it's setting like a new standard, and is with us allowing them to get away with this, and with us just, you know, trying to defend their behavior, we're setting a new standard for them that like they can do this. They can do this every single event. You know, they can just lock half the fucking content in the event behind a premium battle pass, and nobody will care, right? That's just a new standard now. So you can do it. You might as well do it. And yeah, honestly, the most prominent defense that I've seen for this type of behavior from TDS is the fact that the developers need to get paid, right? I already mentioned this before, but I'm going to expand on it a little bit. The defenses I've seen the most is that people are saying that developers need to get paid for their work, right? And I totally agree. And they do get paid by them for their work. Like, you guys have to understand. Like, listen, the Roblox developer exchange rate fucking sucks, right? Like, Roblox taking away 70% of your earnings is absolutely fucking appalling and needs to be fixed, right? But that doesn't excuse this shitty type of behavior, because you guys gotta realize, TDS is not some small fucking indie game made by like Prosetics and Below Natural, right? Like, they're not the only developers of the game anymore, and the game is not tiny anymore. Like, it's not some small indie game where the developers are fucking starving for their next paycheck, right? Like, at this point, like, Paradoxum Games is a whole-ass company, whole-ass real-world company, right? That sells tons of merchandise and tons of game passes every day. So they didn't need to like put a fucking premium battle pass inside of their game, right? Because here's the thing, again, as I mentioned before, with this argument of developers need to get paid, that argument just completely ignores the fact that developers already do earn money from the game. They just like that again. I said this before, but that argument basically assumes that the developers only make money. The developers of the game only make money when the game gets updated, right? And when they put a new game pass in the game. So, like, for example, between the last update and the Halloween update, they put out no new game passes, right? So that means they were making $0, right? $0, 0 cents, zero everything, right? But that's just not how the fucking game works. The game has a billion different game passes that you could buy all year round. And people are buying them. Like, TDS is selling hundreds. I would hesitate to say thousands, but maybe even thousands of game passes every day. So just saying that the developers are like these little starving little guys starving for the next paycheck, right? It's just fucking, it's an idiotic take. Like, I mean, even if TDS was some kind of a little indie game, this action, like putting up a premium battle pass in the game would still be inexcusable in my opinion. But I would have at least like a tiniest little shred of sympathy. But TDS is just not an indie game anymore. It's fucking huge. It's massive. They sell tons of merchandise, tons of everything every day, and they don't need to like pull off these scummy fucking tactics in order to like earn their next paycheck. Like it's just dumb. It's just a dumb argument, right? But yeah, I think those were the things that people were commenting the most about under my previous video. And to be fair, when I made my previous video, it was kind of scattered, but in the comment section, people were just they kept throwing out those two arguments of like the developers need to be paid or it's just cosmetics, bro. Chill out. And the only other argument that I've really seen is that what I'm saying is poor person propaganda, and I'm just poor and I just don't have Robux, and that's just not true. I mean, you guys have seen my avatar. You guys have seen content with me spending Robux on games, so this is absolutely not about just me being poor. And to be fair, whether or not 500 Robux is a lot to you is still just a matter of perspective, right? Like, for example, if you live in America, 500 Robux converted to US dollars will barely maybe buy you a meal, right? But like if you're living in fucking Thailand or you're living in fucking in the Philippines or something, or in Japan, then 500 Robux could buy you like fucking half a week to a week worth of groceries for your family, right? So again, like whether or not 500 Robux means a lot to you is again just situational, and it doesn't really defend these actions of the developers all that much. It's not a defense that you think it is. But yeah, again, this is not to discourage you guys from trying to like prove me wrong here. If someone could prove me wrong here, I like to hear you out. Okay, if someone could prove me wrong, I'd like to hear you out and hear out your points. But yeah, people have just not been able to prove anything I'm saying here wrong. They haven't been able to like change my mind on pretty much anything. So it just makes me think that the way that I'm thinking is right. And yeah, but still, I would like to hear your guys' opinion on this. Just comment down below if you think I'm dumb or if you think my arguments are wrong, and tell me why. And yeah, I guess we can have a conversation. But yeah, other than that, that's really all I have to say. So see you fellas. Goodbye.